They move around a lot. They're moving from farm to farm depending on the harvest. And they may not be able to carry the luxuries of life that a lot of us get to have.
Bueno, yo vengo de Monterrey, Nuevo León, y soy parte de la familia migrante porque mi esposo fue el primero que se vino para acá a arreglar. Pues a veces es estresante porque estar aquí 6 meses aquí en el estado de Indiana y 6 meses en el estado de Texas.
The multiple moves that these families make every year have a significant impact on the educational development of these children.
They're constantly on the go so that they're in and out of different schools, and they don't get that constant that a lot of students get to benefit from. It really breaks up their education.
I'll stay in Florida for the longest. I'll stay there for 6 months because strawberry season starts there. Then we go to North Carolina for blueberries, and after blueberry season's over, then we come back here. And then this is our last journey before we go back home.
They have interrupted schooling. So when you are moving from one school to another, you lose a lot.
When students' learning is interrupted through moves, even though a lot of the states are teaching from the same group of standards, it's still difficult for a child to go from one unit about addition and subtraction and then moving to a new school where they're talking about something completely different. So they have gaps in their education where they are learning one topic at one school and then maybe at the next school doesn't even get touched on because it was already taught.
Florida has different classes, so sometimes I have to take classes here that I can't really take in Florida because they don't have them. We get final exams, and sometimes the final exams cover something we haven't learned because we've just been out of state. So it impacts your grade negatively.
One young man this year actually had to take a whole month of February off. That month hurt him academically, and I think also socially too. I think he missed out on some groups of friends as a freshman in high school. It was pretty tough for him.
It really impacts not only the student academically, but socially. As a teacher, I see it all the time. When a new student comes in, it's like a social disconnect with the rest of the class. So some of these children are having that social disconnect multiple times a year.
This is where the Indiana Department of Education Migrant Program comes in. The program offers learning opportunities throughout the school year and during the summer months, so these children have the opportunity to continue learning in a safe environment to help fill those gaps in their education. The Indiana Migrant Education Program provides services through regional centers across the state.
The reason the regional model works so well is because we have a network of centers that are working towards the same goal with the same information. We're able to collect data, make decisions. We're able to strengthen our program so that if you're in one place in Indiana and you move to a different one, you're going to still have a streamlined support of services throughout the state, no matter where you are.
It's really about identifying students, making sure that we serve them so that they have all of the gaps in their education filled, that they have all the obstacles in front of them removed so that they can be successful.
Finding and identifying migrant students can be very challenging, and that's why we have multiple recruiters across the state.
The recruiter is actually the most important component of the migrant program.
If there is no recruiters, there are no kids to serve. So that's the first piece of this whole puzzle.
They don't normally go out into the community and start looking for the services that they need. So it's the migrant recruiter who is the first staff, the ambassador, that is going out to reach out to the family. So it's their job to find them, to serve them, and it doesn't start unless the migrant recruiter goes out there.
Alex, our recruiter, is vitally important. He is our hands-on out in the field. As soon as he finds out they're in the area, he goes out and makes a contact with them and then gets them signed up.
Without recruiters, we don't have a program. Without recruiters, our students don't get served.
So now we must focus on meeting the needs of these identified children. These students are often at a disadvantage in the world of technology, so our program invested in new, exciting technology and found 20 teachers across the state to help develop lessons using this technology.
It was kind of an interesting experience because they gave us all this technology and said, we're going to find a way to use this technology in the classroom.
So once we got going into the project, it really started blowing up. The problem that we found was we had tons of lessons now, and none of them were building upon each other because the math people would take it a certain way and the language arts people would take it a certain way. So we said, we're gonna have to think cross-curricularly. So math people, get with the language arts person. And you guys are gonna figure out how to take your two lessons and combine them. Once they started doing that, they really started bridging the gap as to what we were looking for from these lessons. I personally think that technology amplifies a student's learning environment.
Technology has really grown since I was a migrant worker. To this day, where I see kids flying drones with ollies, Fitbits. I mean, I never ever experienced that as a kid. Seeing these kids here, experiencing those with all that technology they have in their hands, at their fingertips, is opening a big future for them.
The Migrant program provides assistance to students and families in a variety of different locations to maximize access. This includes offering classes at or near work sites, as well as home-based tutoring programs.
So I'm working with an education center in West Lafayette, and I have different students I go around and see, and so Cayetano is one of the easier students that I work with. I pretty much just have to check on him and make sure he's okay, but I come out once a week, chat with him, see how he's doing in his class, ask if he needs anything. But he just works really hard. He's just super diligent. It's really admirable.
We also deploy a mobile education center that travels to high-need, remote areas of the state. This center can also be used long past normal business hours for traditional school buildings.
There's a desire to learn, but it's the time. I mean, whenever we start class at 7 o'clock at night, some of them aren't in from the fields yet. You know, maybe 8 o'clock before they come in from their job.
We're packing backpacks to get ready to register our kids at the Red Gold Camp for school. So we want them to start with a full backpack that's all set up already with their school supply list. I think the biggest thing is relief for the parents, that they don't have to run out to Walmart to purchase the supplies. They know that we're giving them exactly what their children will need.
Every parent that I talk to wants the best for their children. And I ask them, well, why are you here? A better opportunity for my children.
¿Qué es lo que más les gusta del programa Migrant?
El enfoque y la atención que le dan a nuestros hijos. Uno como padre, ¿qué puede decir, verdad? O sea, uno puede andar, uno viene y uno sabe bien que viene a sufrirle a la labor, porque con el tiempo, con el agua, con el lodo, uno sabe a lo que viene. Pero uno anda bien contenta al saber que nuestros hijos les están educando, les están ofreciendo a ser alguien mejor, ¿no? Nuestra mentalidad para uno, ¿verdad? No es que nuestros hijos anden igual como nosotros, Nosotros queremos que nuestros hijos sean el día de mañana algo más. El futuro del mañana. Ellos son el futuro del mañana.